Then said a teacher, Speak to us of teaching. And he said, No man can reveal to you aught but that which already lies half asleep in the dawning of your knowledge. The teacher who walks in the shadow of the temple among his followers gives not of his wisdom, but rather of his faith and his lovingness. If he is indeed wise, he does not bid you enter the house of his wisdom, but rather leads you to the threshold of your own mind. The musician may sing to you of the rhythm which is in all space, but he cannot give you the ear which arrests the rhythm, nor the voice that echoes it. For the vision of one man lends not its wings to another man. And even as each one of you stands alone in God's knowledge, so must each one of you be alone in his knowledge of God and in his understanding of the earth.
I want to talk to you about internal martial arts. There's a lot said about it. A lot of people have a whole lot of opinions. But I think it's simple. When you understand that you are a creative entity made by the creative entity that made everything that you can imagine. Certainly everything you can see and hear and feel and taste and experience. Made it all. We too can make it all. If you've been doing karate punches for 100 years, you've gotten really good at that. And when you free your spirit, the old let go and let God theory, whatever you want to call it, the automatic reaction. When you do that, things work magically. You tune yourself in to the creation. You move with ease through the creation. You feel the breath of the earth. You can root. Let me tell you a little bit about Bill Chang. Aside from the fact that the man saved my life, he taught me a whole lot about the martial arts. And he always says, Stephen, you have too many moves. Too many moves, very confusing. Just do. And he said, before you fight, Stephen, you win. Duh. He said, straight to the point. Don't dance around. Dominate them. You dominate them, Stephen. You dominate them. He had a principle he called like the notes of music. And you learn the basic stances. You learn the training methods, you know, what you're going to hit with and how you're going to hit and all, you know, those sort of things. And I'll show you some really interesting things that Bill Chang taught me. But before I get off onto all of that, I need to check and see that this camera is focused right and all that stuff because, well, kind of like always, I'm my own photographer. So let me check that. Do you mind? So Bill Chang had a series of stances that he used every morning. He went out generally about an hour before sunup and did an hour and a half of what he called breathing exercises. And the way it works, these are the stances that you're going to use. You're balancing on basically one foot so that you have one foot free to, do whatever it is that you want to do with it. But you're rooted. S, basically the greeting. And then to step in goes with the toes out, heels out, hips in, and locked into the, I call it the sleeping horse, but he just said, do it. And that's it. Building the notes into your being, not just your mind, but into the way your body is strengthened to move. By doing these exercises in correlation with the breathing. See, this is the breath of life. I mean, it's in all cultures. It's not a secret. The more of the usage you get of the air, the breeze that surrounds you, the fragrances, the life in the air that surrounds you, the more of that you can get into your body naturally, the stronger your body is going to become. But anyway, this is you're just basically locked down now. You got your hips forward, so when you get into advanced stages, like you can suck your nuts up inside of you, so if somebody kicks you, so what? But it also brings the meat of the muscle of your legs together close to your groin, and it straightens your spine out right down at the bottom, where most people end up with their butt hanging out and their belly hanging out, and they have a hard time getting through life that way. So anyway, the hips, the spine is tucked in by the hips moving forward. Okay, so now you're basically locked in, and here you start generating an awareness. Bill called it a hot spot, right in the middle of your palms, so that when you hit something, it's noticeable. So anyway, you're basically lined up. Your heels, toes, everything is sucked inward and rooted into the ground. Now you can do both actually in the same exercise. By sucking in, you compress yourself, and by pressing out against the earth, you increase what they call your aura. And you're bringing the energy from your pineal gland down to the ground through your hot palms. So it's a rooting exercise. And you can do it with all kinds of different breathing scenarios, notes, whatever you want to call it, a musical scale, a riff. But anyway, the idea is to bring that energy down. So I don't even remember how long he would stand in these stances. It became a timeless world for me. So I can show you a couple of the notes, and I think those of you who are in the martial arts for some time will probably know exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, so from here, the turning just goes to the what do you call that, 45 degrees. Just enough to take your weight completely on your back foot, and your front, just your toe is in place. And this one, you're preparing to actually move forward here. So the breath is coming in and exploding out, which is basically the entry position. You have your dropping weight, which as you drop it, it gains, I don't know how many times it's magnified in just the dropping of that weight. And then the scooping, and there goes his jurus. 1. Pretty simple, but it has everything to do with the understanding of the stances. When an incoming comes in, you can suck into a guarded position with everything being pulled down, which gives you both your elbows and also then your kicks. And in doing, it's always the breathing. Always the breathing. So that no matter what position you're working in, you have fluidity and you have breath. You can breathe. You're not constricted. You can breathe. So you can move in any of these low positions that you want, or high positions, or just absolute mayhem positions, if you want. But the rooting begins right there, right at the first move. Boom, boom, boom. You're there. Then the breathing. I don't know about you, but I always carry water with me. Because I love to run these hills. And they sure are steep, I gotta tell you. Okay. The notes are the positions. You build on them as you go. A lot of people find that Surak position, that pukalan, that forward-leaning entering position is good, and it is. There is no doubt about it. That's what we've been teaching for not 40 years, since 80, 90. Anyway, we've been teaching Surak and Kendang and I forget, Pachut, and all of these names of all of these Silat systems for a long time. And they're really cool about that. I mean, the entering, when they come into you, they're coming in. But, see, the same thing applies if you were to do that Chang style, which, I mean, build Chang, which is your boom, 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 boom. The jurus. Just simple as that, right out of Silat. You know, with Changs, you know, it's a little bit different because there's a difference in, I think it's the internal connection. Being able to shrink in front of an opponent and then overpower them is kind of cool. You know, if you're much into fighting bullies and stuff like that, you'll appreciate that approach. But also in the horse stance position, you know, a lot of people will just try to go down, and that's good. There's benefit to that. But if you put your hands together and you form a connection round about your body, through both of your arms and through where your elbows and your knees come together. And you can stretch your lower spine this way, breathing, just breathing. And you can do all kinds of different breathing, whatever it is that strikes your fancy, you can do. But the position itself stretches everything and straightens things out, and it's just amazing. And then what you do with your breath inside, while you're doing the stances, is magical, just magical. Try it for yourself. You're going to love it. There's all of these principles, and the positions are there, I'm sure, to just make you comfortable doing extraordinary things, having extraordinary strength. There's no secret to superhuman performance. It's people that perform superhumanly. I mean, they believe that they are more than a human. That's why people do superhuman things. But this training is all about taking your time first every day to go out and breathe. That makes sense to me. While you're bothering to breathe, why not do some of these positions? Who knows? Maybe someday, if you need a little backup self-defense or something like that, one of these positions will prove valuable to you. You never know. But Chang said another thing very consistently. He says, Stephen, always, to yourself make convenient. To yourself. Now, I understand that in combat. You always want to be in a position that disadvantages your opponent and proves to be advantageous to you. I mean, that's, Sun Tzu 101 or something like that. But it also has bearing in everything else that you do in life. If you just take the most convenient path, if something's coming straight at you that's wimp and, limp and slappable, you can slap it as long as you slap hard. But if it's, that immovable force or something like that, then you can just allow it to just go right by you, just slightly either way or even below. I can't do it above, but, I'm old and stuff. And I've already built limitations into my mind. Not everybody is so, what would you say, entrenched in their beliefs as I am, but I find every day I have to change my beliefs because of what I see all around me. Reflecting the Creator and the thought that He's willing to share with us if we just bother to think about it. So this whole martial art is a mindset. You have determined that you shall not be defeated. And your body simply honors that belief, just as we endeavor to honor our Creator by living powerful lives. So, that's not all I have to say about Bill Chang, Un Surya, Jiao Chuan Un, however you want to refer to the man. He's quite a man. And he's home now with the Creator. And, I don't really have any way to prove this. But I think that those who loved us here empower us somehow from afar. Maybe some sort of vibrational level that we can't yet perceive. Maybe that's what this change is all about. Maybe that's what we're growing to. Maybe we'll get there. But obviously, in order to get there, we somehow have to survive. And therein lies the real draw in martial arts. It would be ashamed to get killed by a fool. I don't know, I just wouldn't want to have to explain that to the Creator. Especially when He gave us all of the tools not to bow or submit to tyranny in any way. I mean, from the bully on the schoolyard to the Internal Revenue Service. I'm going to talk to you a lot about Chang. We're going to go over a whole lot of things, and I'm thinking that even though I'm alone out here in the middle of everywhere, I don't have a photographer or somebody to beat up. So what I'm going to try to do is take the footage that I've already got, back when I was a youngster, and kind of weave this into it, because this is a story that's not been told. I spent the last 30 years or so promoting the Detours brothers. But, Bill Chang came to me right at the same time, right about 1978 or 9, right in that neck of the woods. And although the Detours brothers showed me a whole lot, Bill Chang taught me a whole lot. There's a big difference, and I owe him that honor. We were friends and business associates. He had to have a sponsor to be able to come here from Indonesia. So we struck up a friendship, first of all. And I think I'll save that for later. Train hard. Know who your enemies are, foreign and domestic. Be at peace, and may God bless you.